that when you have those abusive voices, all those little neurons get together, and in that little gap you get a real toxic, I want to kill myself kind of chemical. And if you have that over and over again on a loop tape, you might have yourself depression. Oh, and that's not even the tip of the iceberg. If you get a little baby and you abuse it verbally, its little brain sends out chemicals that are so destructive that the little part of its brain that can tell good from bad just doesn't grow. So you might have yourself a homegrown psychotic. If a soldier sees his friend blown up, his brain goes into such high alarm that he can't actually put the experience into words, so he just feels the horror over and over again. So here's my question. My question is, how come when people have mental damage, it's always an act of imagination? How come every other organ in your body can get sick and you get sympathy except the brain?
You feel as though everything wanders around. Someone will tell you everything's wrong, but you can't believe in everything you hear. Not now.
Anyone not living with a neurological condition or disorder, such as anxiety, depression, schizophrenia, or bipolar disorder, is benefiting from neurotypical privilege. Neurotypical privilege means that your neurology is typical or follows the norms of society, therefore allowing access to power and favor. I have neurotypical privilege. My life is easier simply because of the way my brain is wired. This privilege is not my fault, nor does it make me a bad person. But knowing about my privilege and understanding it can help me to see myself and others in a new way.
I will not be asked to leave a public place or to change where I live because people are uncomfortable with my neurotypical behaviors.
To me, neurotypical privilege is being seen by society as someone who is, quote, normal, someone who is mentally healthy with ideal, socially acceptable behaviors, someone who also doesn't require medication to be accepted by others.
Don't know where you're going, don't know what you're doing. You've got to find a place that you can go.
What is neurotypical privilege? Neurotypical privilege to me means normal. And what normal means to society, I have no idea. But to me, neurotypical privilege means that I don't have to take medication in order to feel normal each day when I get up to be able to function in society.
It's funny how you fake it. I always knew you made it up.
Neurotypical privilege to me means that I don't have a mental illness or disease that impairs my mental health.
And this is the place that you can go, that you belong. Yes, you belong.
Nobody feels nervous around me because of my neurology, and I am not viewed as somebody who needs to be cured. If I am sick or unhappy, nobody accuses me of making it up in my mind. I am grateful that I am neurologically privileged, but I would like to use that privilege to make it so that people who suffer from neurological illnesses are seen in a better light in our society and receive the help that they need.
I love you more than you love a blue sky, more than the moonlight on a silent winter night.
I experience neurotypical privilege when no one questions whether or not I'm competent to raise my children solely based on my neurology. I experience neurotypical privilege when no one assumes that living with me is tragic or devastating, or that my family or friends need a support group to deal with me.
All my flowers that bloom for you, my life. You don't know where you're going, don't know what you're doing. Got to find a place that you can go, that you call home.
I experience neurotypical privilege every day. For example, the rules and laws that were made for this country were made by and for people with my neurology.
Funny how you fake it. I always knew you made it up. This is a place that you can go.
How have I experienced neurotypical privilege? Well, up until recently, I was unaware that I even have neurotypical privilege. But the more I think about it now, is I've seen people in the field that I work in, how they treat people that are non-neurotypical, and so I have that privilege, and I also, when I go out every day into society, I appear to be normal. And people look at me and they don't think that that I have some sort of mental illness or that I have a thinking disorder.
You belong. Yes, you belong.
As the only member of my family who falls under the category of being neurotypically privileged, I have had the experience of seeing how neurological illnesses affect people in their daily lives. I have learned that neurotypical privilege means that I don't have to worry about not being able to trust my own mind.
Help, I have done it again.
I believe the first part of being an ally means that I will listen to my clients or the people that I'm working with and hear what they have to say and really pay attention to what their wants and desires are and try to be empathetic and see things in their perspective. Secondly, it means that I'll speak up on their behalf if need be to people that are stigmatizing them, and hopefully teach them to be allies as well.
Many times before, hurt myself again today. And the words.
My role as a social worker, and to be a strong ally, I feel I must educate myself through trainings and research so I can gain an understanding of the difficulties they must face, be willing to speak up for one who is misunderstood, be open-minded at all times, and to be prepared not to be judgmental. I need to share what I've learned with my community and my family so they can understand people who do not speak and behave as what society feels as normal.
There's no one else to blame. Be my friend.
I can become an ally by using my privilege to create change. I can take action by becoming involved in community organizations that bring awareness to mental illness. I can also make sure that my language is healthy and respectful toward those living with mental illness. And I can make sure that I encourage others around me to do the same.
Unfold me, I am small.
How can social workers become better allies? I would say, first of all, to keep promises that they make. If they tell a client they're going to call them back, make sure to call back, make sure they follow through. their left hand. They can teach the clients how to advocate for themselves. They can advocate for their clients also and teach them how to advocate for themselves. And they can listen, just listen to the client. Listen to what they have to say instead of trying to respond to it. Listen to understand.
Warm me up and breathe me.
Recognizing privilege ignites the fire for change and partnership between communities, and it can start with you.
Ouch, I have lost my